Welcome to Jerkin Around, a podcast that makes you feel better about yourself because we're a mess just like you.
And Crystal makes fun of me the whole time.
And it's great, and it's real.
Welcome to Jerkin Around.
Welcome. Guys, it's a sad day.
It is.
It's going to be the season ender.
Season finale.
This is our last.
I know.
Yeah, our last one for the season. Melissa didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
we got to explain why.
Yeah, we got to explain why. Only because
Yes.
we've thought long and hard, and we really
prayed
believe
about it.
Yeah, we believe in seasons. Seasons of life, seasons of the podcast. So we've done season 1,
Yep.
season 2, season 3, and
This-
we believe this is the ending for season 3.
Yeah. And we just were big on being present with the kids, and the kids are off of school. So we really want to.
It's getting better.
I know. It's cute jacket. We really want to make the memories with the kids.
Yeah.
We don't want to spend a whole day coming here and doing all this.
We love it. But we just believe, too, miss us a little. You'll like it.
Yeah.
And find out what goes on in the summer. You'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But we're like Chick-fil-A. We just believe in the summers. We work still in the summer. And honestly, our job gets pretty busy in the summer.
Right.
But when we're not working, we take vacations. And we're
Yeah.
big vacation people.
Yeah. We love a vacation.
And we've decided to be proud of it.
Yeah,
Because
first we
sometimes
were
we're
hiding it.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
We were closet vacationers. Not very closet because you all know. But
No.
we like get ashamed sometimes that we travel. And then we're like, we're not going to be ashamed anymore. Because we don't do other things because we travel.
And people can spend money. Like my patio furniture has holes in it because I want to take a trip and buy new patio furniture.
Yeah.
So
And
everyone
my
has
clothes
the
are
things-
dorky. I wear dorky clothes. I have a hard time spending money on clothes.
Yeah,
It's
everyone
like
has
an
their
area
things.
I don't
yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I like to travel, and I sneak the travel in because Kyle isn't a big traveler.
No.
He was raised camping, so he would camp
Yeah.
and do like more free vacations. This guy's coming for me.
Yeah.
He would
And
do
I feel
free
like
vacations.
he likes to buy stuff more. He's
He
more
likes
the
to buy.
buyer.
He would buy a boat right now if he
Right,
could.
right.
He would have payments on things. I don't like payments, but I also like moments.
Yes.
And in my Dave Ramsey
Yes.
mornings, he talks about like 4 effective ways to spend money, and one of them is on memories.
And
You'll
I do
feel
think
good.
that with the kids, like I look back at all the memories and like I can't even tell you what I bought them for Christmas last year, but I can like picture every trip.
I agree. And it's like Kyle and I both work private jobs, and I feel like you and Ben are like this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So our phone rings 24/7. So
Not a
if
lot
we
of
don't get
boundaries.
out of town, it doesn't feel like we ever get a break.
Yes.
So when we go out of town, it's like we're still answering the phone at the beach, but we're watching the waves and we're with the kids.
Yes.
So it's a way to like justify how much we answer the phone is that we get to, and when I take Kyle, my husband, out of our environment, he relaxes.
Yeah.
And I feel like we talk about the grouchy husband, kind of.
Yeah.
Which we love men, but there is a grouchy husband. I feel like most husbands are more grouchy.
Totally.
They say no to things more. The best way to combat our family's grouchy husband is to get him out of town.
And Ben's the same way. Even his parents were like, yeah, I only see the real relaxed Ben when he's hunting or on vacation.
Yeah.
It's crazy because he can't relax. He
Neither can
can't.
Kyle.
He can't calm down. He can't unwind. And I think it's their jobs and whatever.
Totally.
He's constantly thinking and stressing and worked up and doing this at the house. He won't relax. So the only way to get him to relax is out of town. He's like fun dad, fun husband.
I agree. Kyle too. So fun.
Yeah.
And he's fun when we're with you. So I like traveling with you. Because then when we travel alone, I have to plan everything. And I don't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah.
I used to love it. I feel like even when we went to Hawaii years ago,
Yeah.
I was like more the planner.
Yeah.
So weird.
Totally.
I am just not a planner anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it
I
anymore.
love the plan.
I love going with my brother.
I'll plan anyone's vacation. Call me, you know?
Yeah,
It's
I don't
so
want to
fun.
plan. I don't want to know where to go to dinner. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to
Yeah.
pick the things. So like when we go with you, you plan. Kyle says yes because you guys are the same.
Yeah.
It's just glorious.
Yeah, I called him. I was like, hey, you need to send me money for the luau. He's like, all right, let me know. You
Oh,
know?
you already booked it?
Yeah. He's just so funny, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't even yell at you.
No.
So the bottom line is figure out what works and
Yes.
spend money on it.
Yeah.
We also sneak it because we have a Hyatt credit card and Kyle uses that for like work when he buys supplies and stuff. So it helps us get free rooms.
Right.
So then I can like, it's a free room. We just have to get there.
Right.
And then I use like the credit card for my business. So usually I can get a few free flights.
That's how we are,
So
too.
if you have a grouchy husband, try to sneak it in by using the word free, even though it's not really free.
No.
As I'm learning with Dave Ramsey. like if you didn't put things on the credit, Kyle pays everything right off.
Yes.
I don't always as well, but I'm getting good at it.
Well, if you can pay it right off, it's a way to work the system.
Work the system a little bit.
It's when you get in trouble is if you can't pay it off.
And I've done that.
I've been there too.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But Dave says, we're not doing that anymore. But so we travel a lot, and we travel on different schedules. We travel a little together. We travel a little apart. We're actually going to Hawaii. We're super excited. Mm-hmm. We told you guys about that. But we just want to be like in the moment and be present.
Yeah.
And we want to be Chick-fil-A, and we want to make our values a priority.
Totally.
So our value is that we think it's important to be
summer is
with the kids.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll be back in the fall. Once the kids get back in school, we get back to recording, and it's going to be exciting.
I'm excited for season 4.
Teisha thinks we're going to do some live videos.
Yeah, I was like, let's do some live.
Yeah, while we're gone. We're just super uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
But we're going to try because everybody likes our staging videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody likes our stuff. So we're going to try to do that more so you can see
especially
our life.
on the ones we're together.
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, let's do like YouTube videos because Crystal's good at editing. She could edit our YouTube videos.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
Let's do some
we want to
YouTube.
be live.
Yeah.
Melissa's going to help us.
Yeah,
She's
perfect.
into this. Yeah, we think we're better in this podcast journey just ourselves.
Yeah.
That's why we look. I have a butt boob today, and it's just what it is.
I woke
like
up
a
at
butt crack.
6 to work out, so I'm like sweaty and smelly.
Yeah, we just really want to lean into being authentically ourselves.
Yeah.
We decided for today's podcast, we're going to just do some reflection on, since we started the podcast, and season 3 specifically on our life journey and this amazing studio and people that we met this year.
Yes.
So for me, driving here, we had reflection. We're going through a weird transition. Kennedy's going to high school, which we like raise our kids like
together.
The Amish, all is one.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like
And-
I was begging Hudson to go to high school yesterday. I'm like, Hudson, just
and
go
she's
up. Just
telling
skip
Maddie that we're going to
grade.
take her to Summit tomorrow.
I know. I want to tell.
And they bullied me at an event. You're going. I'm like, she's not going. She's not missing
I'll do her
school.
homework. Let's have her go.
No, she's not going. She has a dance recital thing for school. No, and it's okay. She's not going. But I was sad about it this morning. I'm like, I should have had Maddie go. But we're just been in reflection. Like things are changing. Kennedy's going to high school. We're not doing cheer together anymore. No more carpool
But Ken
together.
will be
On Liberty,
so she'll be with you, and I feel good about that because I feel like if she wasn't, I think I would have a really hard time. And she's still going to be at Top Gun.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling okay, but it is a really big transition. This has been like 7-8 years, and I can't.
At the cheer gym. Top Gun.
And I can't even, like, I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah. It's a big change.
It's like when you're going to have a baby and you feel like this change is coming and it's like such an unsettling feeling.
Yeah,
I don't
had
know
that
why.
last year. High school scared me.
Yeah.
With Maddie. I felt like, and honestly, looking back, it's like, when you look back and you're like, the naiveness was a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I didn't know what I know now because I would have been more scared.
Oh, shit.
Like, the growth she's taken in a year is crazy.
Yeah.
She's so independent. She's never home. She's always with people.
Yeah.
She's in cars. We never even let her used to ride with anyone. Now she's riding. Her friend took her to school this morning. It's like, is she even my daughter? But I didn't know all that. But sometimes I was feeling like, we say like a lot. Someone just made fun of us. Screw you. We say like a lot.
Who?
Oh my gosh, on the reel.
Oh,
Kyle
the
yelled
guy?
at him, you bastard or something.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
I felt better though because I was watching the Kardashians and Courtney was like, yeah, I just have them edit out all the likes. And it showed clips and it was like. She said it so many times.
Yeah.
I felt better about myself.
But we just
Everyone
talk like
does
that
it.
in real life.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Totally.
But I was seeing like so much seasons change and there's so many things that you're scared of change. And then when you look back at them, that change was really such a blessing. And we were talking about that this morning, like coming to the podcast every Tuesday was like a gift for me this year. Mm-hmm. Like, again, lesbian lover. I like, no matter what kind of day or week I had, knowing on Tuesday, Teisha was picking me up and we were driving and we were going to go to Chino Bandito, our favorite place after. Mm-hmm. It was just like a blessing. And it got me into some structure that changed the business, because I was quitting last year. And I don't think I meant to quit. I think I just needed to make some changes. But when you're going through it, you don't realize the changes needed to be made to get you where you want to be. So you're just kind of like making choices to try to dodge like uncomfortableness, in turn, it's like a blessing.
Yeah.
Like even at our cheer team, we've made some hard changes lately just because people don't like change. And on the other side of it, I'm like, those changes, even though they were hard, they're such blessings now.
Yeah.
But it's like when we're going through it, we don't realize, like even talking about leaving Top Gun, like Kenny going to high school, it's going to be this blessing. Like there's going to be something that comes so good out of the next change, but so often we're scared for change.
Well, no one likes change. It's scary. So
Yeah.
I feel like there has to be things that catapult you to do them, because otherwise very few people would choose to leave it, you know?
Yeah, even like hosting things at my house, I was thinking about all the things because I've been really tired lately, and I'm like, I've hosted so many things at the house lately. And I was remembering when I used to host wildlife at my house and Shine, this women's Bible study. And it was so sad when those things ended. But it was like, I didn't know in hindsight that God was making room for something else.
Right, because
like
you never could have
done them all.
added those on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But when you have to let go of something, it's sad.
It is.
But you don't realize there's growth coming. And even for me, this last season 3, I would say after losing my dad, I feel like can talk about it now without crying.
Yeah.
I feel like it just made such an impact on my life in such a positive way that I'm just way more present in the now. Even with working, I don't feel like I've lost that. I don't feel like I'm running crazy.
No.
Even though life is crazy, I feel very present. And I also feel like with work, like we change a lot. We are a third of the team we used to be. Mm-hmm. And that's always hard because, again, bigger seems better. And I feel like as a business owner, I grew to climb the ladder. Like I wanted to have the big team, the big name, you know, I wanted all that everybody else had. And as I was getting there, I was like, it's not so great.
Right.
More work means more overhead costs, means you have to work more to make the same money.
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems is so true. And I think it's like just a pivot.
Saying. Yeah.
Where you learn, I don't need my name in lights.
No.
Like I don't need to be that big to be happy.
No.
But I think that's growth. Like I think we all have those things. And I just feel like I don't really care about that anymore.
No.
Which is big for me. Usually I like
yeah,
that.
you're more into that than me.
I love that stuff, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But you know what's funny is, I was just forgetting. Shoot.
Is it about growing and getting bigger?
Getting present. Oh, I think the 40s, especially now that we're hitting 45, I feel like it's such a cool age.
Yeah.
I know you like to stay young, so I don't know if you would say that.
No, I like the 40s. I just want to look
the 40s.
20s.
Yeah. See, I know.
Internally, I'm loving 40s.
I love the 40s.
Like confident.
I feel like it's the best era yet.
Yes, it's so fun.
I don't have a lot of regrets.
You're more established.
You don't give an...
No, and you're more like established in your family, in your career, in your life, and
you get what matters.
Yes.
You don't really care about the other stuff.
Yes.
Don't you feel?
Yeah.
Like I used to care so much if I made someone mad. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Don't you think? I feel like I'm way better.
Yeah, you have gotten better.
Like I'm like, if they're mad, it's their problem. I think that's therapy too.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest things I think I took out of therapy, which in season 3, there has been no therapy, which is like a good thing in a way. I've learned to really learn
what
I
haven't gone in a while.
Yeah, I haven't gone.
Yeah.
After my dad died, I went like 1 or 2 times and then that was it. But I think I really learned what I needed to learn in therapy was that I can only control myself.
Right.
And I think that's something that people you don't learn that enough. Just as a kid, you're worried about all the things. And it's like, again, with the let them theory, it's kind of the same, just worded differently, is you can't worry if everybody's mad. You can't worry if everything's going to go your way. You can't worry about what sports team your kid's going to be on because sometimes when we are placing everything where it's supposed to be, we're forgetting to let God move.
Right.
And sometimes we got to just sit back and wait for the cards to fall.
Yeah.
And just trust that we're doing what we can. And if we hurt people's feelings on the journey, that's not our problem.
Yeah.
As long as you're respectful and honest. I think that's something my brother just told me this weekend. We went to New York last week for a few days, and I feel like when I go with my brother, it's like a retreat.
Yeah, like it's like a boot camp for your mind.
It's like a boot camp from toughness and business.
He's like, get it together.
Yeah. Last year, we went away when I was quitting. He got me to not quit. He
came back. You're on like 75 hard. I'm like, what's going on? This is great. I'm all, well, we're going with Justin more often because she wasn't quitting all of a sudden.
He's not afraid to tell me the truth. Whereas in life, maybe I come across strong, where some people aren't telling me the truth because I argue.
Well, and I tell you the truth, but I feel like sometimes you argue, or some things like with the work, it was like I was too close to it. I didn't want to tell you not to quit because I felt like you would feel like it was benefiting me.
Yeah.
So it was hard
I
for
would like not read it the right way.
yeah, and it was hard for me to like be objective because I was in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be like, no, that's stupid. Because you'd be like, well, you're telling me that because you're gonna
Lose your job.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not really,
yeah,
but kinda.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
like,
it
of course you
wasn't
don't want me to leave.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I could have said that for that.
Well, I feel like this conference that we had in New York was I was telling him certain stories, and he told me that sometimes I am dodging the truth when in spite the truth would have made things a lot easier. And you always tell Ben and I, because we're the same.
Ben does that
Teisha's
too.
husband is like me. We don't like to hurt people. So we sometimes like won't say the truth. Like, hey, are you going to come to the conference on Tuesday? Maybe. Yeah. And I know I'm not going.
Ben does that all the time.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't want to piss people off. And I'm
Yeah.
like, they're not going to be mad. They might be a little disappointed, but they're mad when they think you're coming. And then the last second you say, no, I'm not.
Yeah. And instead, I need
Yes.
to just tell the truth. And so at work, when I was with the bigger team, I was friends. Even if we weren't friends right away, I became so close with everyone on the team that sometimes it was hard to lead, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to hurt them because it was so personal.
Right.
And instead I needed to just like say what I was thinking, feeling, or what I felt would help people grow.
Yeah.
Because that's your job as a leader. And I think that in a lot of things, like it's better to just be honest. So that's like what I'm
Let's be honest. You could be on Kristen's
I'm going to work on
podcast.
that. I feel like I've gotten better though. Because when you don't care
Yeah.
what people think, you're more likely to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you're not worried about the repercussion.
Totally.
But 40s, yeah, I just feel like it's a great time. What would you think your hardest like block of age would have been?
20s, for sure.
Really?
So hard.
Hardest?
Yeah, hardest.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think, well, like, I really wanted to get married. That's when everyone starts getting married. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I've always wanted to be a mom. So when I'm not married, it's all, well, shit, that plan's not growing great, you know? I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So my 20s was like, I feel like I was looking for a husband the whole time. And I wish
And worried about being last. Everybody's worried about being last.
and everyone was getting married, and then I was dating idiots. And I wish I actually look back now and I'm like, that was so fun. And I wish I could tell myself, it's all gonna work out. You're gonna meet the one. He's gonna be everything you wanted, and you're gonna have a great life. And then I would have really enjoyed my 20s more.
Yeah.
Because I was so stressed and worked up, and you just don't know yourself. You're figuring
At
things
all.
out. You make horrible decisions.
Yeah.
You're just lost. I think it's a very lost. And then
Very
that's when
lost,
I
yeah.
became a Christian.
Yeah.
So I kind of like had a whole transformation where I was like not doing the best things, and then I became a Christian, and then I was better. It was just it was a weird time.
Yeah, 100% for me too. That was, I don't know for me, my hardest was my younger years because I was picked on so much because
Yeah.
I had an Afro puff and I was a fat kid. So they would say those mean things to me like, what are you going to do, sit on me? You know, that
Yeah.
was rude.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, you're like butter, the most fatteningest thing in the world.
Shoot, yeah.
And my parents worked a lot back then, in all honesty. And so I was very alone. Like it was a very alone time. My brother was 6 years older. So they were working and
You had less friends, so you were
I had
just
no
alone.
friends because I was a fat kid. That was kind of weird. And you would do things to be funny. Like that's how I got funny because
Yeah.
that's the only time people would hang out with me. But my best friend at the time wasn't always so nice to me, and I would put up with it because I just needed a friend.
Yeah.
And then I remember
I'm doing that now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just totally kidding.
I remember like being in my room a lot, watching movies and eating. So it's funny, they say that how you cope as a kid is how you cope as an adult.
Yeah.
Like I like to be alone and I like to eat in my bed, we discovered last week.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's like that's how I cope is like the mechanisms you developed as a kid.
Yeah.
So my kids are gonna watch TikTok alone in the room their whole life to cope, you know?
Yeah.
Like think about it now, but I was
Yeah.
very just lonely. I was very like alone. I didn't have anyone. Really. My family was mean to me. My brother, that's why I freak out when my kids are mean to each other. And I know it's brotherly love. Like anytime there was wide load on the freeway, you know, those
Yeah.
signs and like the
oversized
big,
load.
Justin's like, we need to get those when we ride with you. It's just like, he's funny, but like you don't realize, and we've said this before, you don't realize how much you identify yourself based on what people tell you are.
Yeah.
And if I could scream something to my kids or to anyone is know your identity with him and with yourself. Never trust what people say you are.
Yeah.
Besides like one teacher, and this is why teaching, especially these days, can make me very happy or very upset, because these teachers don't realize the effect they have on these kids.
Right.
But one time a teacher told me I was a good writer, and if you know me, I can't spell.
That's
a
so
word.
cute, and you'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it. I believed I was a good writer because she told me, and I still.
I do think you are a good writer.
I am a good
There's
writer.
Just errors.
Yeah,
but
like I can't spell.
But the concept is
Yes.
good. Yes.
And she told me it once, and I still believe it.
Yeah.
So people can tell me I can't spell, and notice I'm not insecure about the fact that I can't spell.
Yeah.
I'll post with all the errors. They don't even
Yeah.
make sense. I don't
Yeah.
care. Because that lady told me I was a good writer.
Yeah, that's true. People told me I was smart when I was younger, and I feel like I'm
You
so
identify
smart.
as it. But in the same, like I've said, with the weight loss thing, those wide, loud comments, thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
It's still like you don't realize.
Yeah.
So like at that young age, there was so much coming at me. And I had a relationship with God, but he was like, hey, I'd like a pink bike, and I remember I would like pray about like all the things I was stealing. I was stealing money. It's like loser. My brother always had money. He still has money, if anyone knows us now.
Yeah.
My brother has a lot of money. And he always had money, so I would sneak in his room, steal, and I'd go to the ice cream man, because that's cool. And then my mom, do you remember those cigarettes? She'd tell me if I pretended to smoke them, it was real. It affected your lungs.
Like the candy cigarettes? Yeah.
And I believed her.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a smoker, because I puffed on the. So I was just like a weirdo, very
I feel
weird.
like all kids are weird, though. Kids do weird things.
I didn't feel like my kids were that weird. I feel like they're weirder.
Yeah.
Hudson's a good time now. She's at her weird stage, and I love it. But
her and Ken are really something
yeah,
together.
but I was just lonely.
Yeah.
Very lonely.
Yeah.
But I'm like a true loner inside, which is weird. But I really like to be alone. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm not alone at least an hour in the day where I'm alone, I'm so grouchy.
Yeah.
Because I recoup alone. But Kyle grew up with all the kids, so he likes to always be with me and with everybody. And I'm like, eh. But this is a side note, but Kyle and I went to the movies on Friday. I didn't have a lot to do because my phone broke. This is probably why I had such a good day. Oh my gosh, it's totally why. I'm like, I had the best day on Friday. Yeah. Because my phone broke.
Yeah, you
Because I dropped in the bathtub Thursday night. I had no phone on Friday.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's go to the movies. Because we had to order it and it had to come in. So I couldn't go get it at the store because we got refurbished. We went to the movie and we saw The Accountant 2. I thought it was so good.
Was it?
Oh, I thought it was, Kyle didn't think it was good. I thought it was so good.
No, we haven't seen that.
It was funny.
Yeah.
There was parts, it was funny. It was so good. And then we had the, a day, session,
Oh, shoot, yeah.
And I'm not a big day one.
I love the day.
Kyle loved it. He got so much attention.
Yeah.
And then we did something else Friday night.
Well, this sounds like every day in my house.
There's the day session.
Yeah, and then the attention, we're going on a hike. There's a set, there's a lot of it. Yeah, I feel like we do that a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, Saturdays we're very separate because he's going there. I like to drive separate to the games.
Yeah.
So we're never home on a weekend.
Yeah.
So no, never like that.
Yeah.
No, he was in the best mood.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was like, gosh, that really, and it does feed your cup when you're alone together.
Yeah.
But I wasn't distracted. So I was probably in a better mood because I didn't have my phone.
Right.
Sometimes when he's trying to talk to me, I'm like, hey, I'm doing something.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny though. The day, I'm not into the day. But I was talking to a friend of ours who's also a jerky. And we were talking this weekend, and there was a period, and this is, again, part of why we wanted to start the podcast, was we went to lunch, and she was going to get divorced. She was done. She was fully checked out, numb, meeting with lawyers, ready to go. And we were like, no. And so we're like, tell us what's wrong.
Right.
And she was like, well, he doesn't really, I can't even remember. It was
he had gone through a change, I think, in job. So he was kind of going through a thing, and then she was going through stuff as well.
And they were on each other's nerves.
Family members passing.
Yeah.
So there was 2 external things that were
contributing,
happening.
Yeah.
And then, I think she was needing support from him, and he was needing support from her.
Kind of like our break.
And they weren't giving it to each other. So then it was it turned pretty bad.
Yeah, and I think that's really normal when you're
oh yeah.
Even with my dad, I was so internal, and I was like a inner recluse, and Kyle didn't know what was going on. And if he's stressed at work and I'm stressed at work, it's we both need from each other, but we both don't have any left to give. Mm-hmm. But a year later or 2, we're talking to her, and she's like, our marriage has never been better. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, imagine if you would have gotten divorced like you were planning on it.
Right.
But they really put all stops down. They really went to counseling. They really made each other a priority. They really changed a lot of things.
They were going to church together.
They hung out with different people. I think the environment you're around sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like some of the people they were around were maybe encouraging it a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was one of our passions is when we sat at lunch and we're talking to her, we were like, a lot of the things you were going through are very
Yeah.
normal.
She was like, and he was being a jerk or not being a jerk, but he like did something. I'm all, yeah, that happens like every day. Like,
Yeah,
it's
totally.
no big deal.
Yeah, I just feel like we want to share
Right.
that. But we're not man haters. Our mover today was like, are you guys going to go to the podcast and hate on men?
No, that's what
And I was like, oh my gosh,
that's
we
what I
so
want to
don't
reflect
hate
on for this
men.
season is I feel like some of the clips I feel like weren't like a accurate depiction of what I was saying. And I do feel like some of the things weren't taken in the right context.
She's still bothered about it.
I'm still bothered.
Clearly.
Our movers think we're a man hater. I'm like pro man.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite of a feminist.
Yeah.
Truly.
So you say.
Yeah, I really am though.
No, I know.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was very, and this is someone that personally knows us, not just like a rando on TikTok that's like, you know, in his mom's
Those randos
basement.
get to you though.
The randos in the
randos
mom's
really-
basement are getting to me, you know?
They really get to you.
But he knows us. And
Yeah.
and so for him to think that, I was like, okay, I really just want us to have a clear
Yeah.
vision in season 4 about like who we are and what we stand for.
What do you stand for?
Well, I know you stand for anal beads.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't.
You can't say that, and it's not even true.
Yeah.
You're the one that tried it.
No. Oh, no, Melissa, I didn't.
No,
No.
I know.
But
I
you
get
know
it.
what? You
Yeah, I get
agree.
it. I was just trying to ask a weird question.
So yeah. No.
Yeah. I feel like we just learned a lot through the journey.
Totally.
But I'm still learning. I don't know. But the 40s, I just still really love it. I wish I could tell girls, young girls, just wait. It'll get so much easier.
Yeah.
But the raising kids, I feel like it's trickier.
The older kids is hard.
The younger kids, they need so much from you at all times. Like you're fully never have alone time to think.
No.
But I feel like
There's
the
a lot
older
of doing,
kids,
like getting snack, getting this, getting that.
Yeah.
When they're older, they can do that themselves, but the problems are so
yeah, they're letting
stressful.
go. That's another thing that's been hard. Or I feel like I was talking to somebody yesterday and I said, I think I'm in a phase where I feel like I'm parenting with God. Whereas I'm trying to control what I can control, but I'm also letting there be breathing room, which is very scary.
Yes.
I'm letting breathing room happen so that the lessons can be taught
While they're in the house.
authentically and naturally. I'm a big believer in natural consequences.
But while they're still in your
Yes, where I can pivot
and
with
you
them.
can guide.
Yeah, but it's very hard
Yes.
to let go because
Right.
I am a control person.
Well, I told Ben that this weekend. After our podcast last week, I actually learned something.
Did you when you
Yes,
listened? I
from
told you.
Reese.
Remember when I said I relate and you're
And
like, it's us.
The parents, and I was like, because Ben is very controlling. I think especially with like our oldest, he's not as strong of a personality. And so he very much does what he's told. And so Ben's constantly telling him what to do, like to the point where it's like, eat breakfast. I'm like, if he doesn't want to eat breakfast, he doesn't have to eat breakfast.
Exactly.
And he's like, well, he's going to football. And I'm like, great. Well, when he is not performing, then maybe he'll want to eat breakfast. But anyways, I told him, I'm like, you really need to work on being less controlling because we have 2 more years that he's in our house 100%. And I really want him to feel empowered.
yeah.
And so it's hard because it is hard to give them the empowering.
It's so hard to let go. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the smartest things my mom did was before that summer before college, she really let the rings off. Like I was allowed to do kind of whatever I wanted. I didn't really do a lot bad besides go to the clubs that we talked about after
Yeah.
midnight, like Blizzard Beach. And
It was harmless.
It was harmless. And I had a new boyfriend that we had the best time.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
He was a good boyfriend.
Yeah, that was fun. Oh, we drove by it today. The retreat.
Yes, the retreat.
Or
That's
the
what
other
it
day.
was.
I saw it. I was like, oh, memories.
And we were hanging there and we were like, it was like a good group. We were having so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we were having so much fun with like just like TPing or like
Yeah.
watching movies together. And I was allowed to like spend the night there, which
we
was
were
crazy.
like kids, but not kids anymore because
Yeah.
we were going to college. So it was weird.
But when I got to college, I didn't have this desire to go crazy. I didn't drink my first 2 years really at all.
Yeah,
I
like no
still went out,
rebellion.
but I didn't have this like rebellion.
No, we really did not drink freshman year. Like,
No.
at all.
At all. And everybody did, but we were fine with it. Where I turned was when I hurt my knee.
Yeah.
And I got depressed because I hurt my knee. It wasn't like I drank because of this. The void was I was in bed for a year and I was like,
Yeah.
And all my friends went home and I was just up at college crutching around the snow.
Yeah.
And that's what really changed it for me. But I just feel like it's smart. I was thinking one of our good friends' daughter was over at my house last night and her parents are out of town and she's a junior. And she had prom this weekend. And so her parents were out of town for prom. And I went over her weekend with her, and she'll tell me, like, the truth. And I'm like, she made just such good decisions all weekend. I'm like, hey, are you spending the night here? She's like, I'm going to go back to da-da-da. You know, like, they let her make her own decisions because she's proven that she can.
Right.
So I feel like it's just important to release control and parent with God. But it's also hard because you're watching them learn hard lessons that you've learned, like we were talking in the car. And I want to keep some of my kids' stuff private because they, you know, their friends listen, but like you're watching certain things happen. You're like, oh, I would turn right. I wouldn't do this. But I think it's important that they go through it, but it's not always easy to watch.
No.
But my mom was really good about that. Like, in trusting that I was going to make the right choice, even while I was making the wrong one.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm giving my opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion, but I trust you, and you're going to make the right choice. You could do that, too. You know what I mean? Like,
I've given my opinion.
Totally. And I feel like...
She knows my opinion.
I've given mine to my kids about some things. I'm like, I wouldn't do this, but...
It's like the hot dog eating.
It's for you to figure out. I do this thing,
Yeah. Oh, it's the worst.
So I do I know, and I do it with my kids too, and they listen.
Yeah, because if you don't, you're an idiot. That's how you make people feel.
I do this thing where I say, I wouldn't do that, but if you want to. And I used to do it at work all the time, and it's this thing, like, we call it the hot dog thing because I don't like hot dogs. And so one time when we were in our 20s, we were in California, and we were on the beach, and we were walking.
We were starving. We had no money.
We were with our other friend, Monica.
And it was like $1. I'm like, I'm going to get a hot dog. She's like, oh.
I wouldn't eat the hot dogs on the street, but if you want to, and then you feel like you're just a piece
An idiot.
of crap.
There's no way I could have taken a bite. She's like, well, it's not that simple. It's like, I'm like, do you guys want to get a hot dog? And she's like, no. And I'm like, why? Because it was like the way she said it was like beneath her. And I was like, why aren't you getting a hot dog? Aren't you hungry? You just said you were hungry. She's like, yeah, I am. And sits there. And I'm like, well, why aren't you? Well, because... And I'm like, because why? You're dying to know.
Yeah,
like, am I making a wrong choice?
Of the pig. It's disgusting.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear what happens? It comes from a butthole of the pig. So now I'm going to sit there and eat the hot dog, knowing you just told me it's from the butthole of the pig.
Then you feel like a piece of crap if you eat it.
Yeah, I am a piece of crap. And she's like, well, it's from the butthole of the pig, but I'm not going to eat that. But if you want to eat it, go for it.
Sometimes I do with my kids. I'm all, that's fine if you want cancer. They're like, yep, I don't care.
Yeah, it's so awkward. It's like a bullying, really.
Yeah, but I do it at work too, and like we all joke around at work.
Like, I wouldn't price it for that, but if you wanted to sell on the market, go ahead.
I wouldn't put that in there, but that's up to you. And
you want to never make $1 by watching it for a year? Good for you.
Yeah.
You're like an idiot. There's no way you can do it.
Yeah, but it's very powerful.
It is powerful.
I feel like it's a very powerful, like...
Do you do that to Kyle? Is that why he listens to you?
I don't know.
I think you do. Like, that's fine if you want to raise your kids to never go on a trip with their father, then go to work. Because all of a sudden, I've been trying to tell him to go to Cooperstown for months.
Yeah.
He has one talk with you and he's not missing Cooperstown.
No,
like,
I did.
Happened?
I told him. I said, I did. And
you probably said something like that.
I probably did. And I was like, you're trying to impress all these, or you're trying to make these people happy. They're never going to be happy. Who cares, you know?
But I say that.
Yeah,
I must not say it.
Maybe the way I said it. I do. My dad used to say, you could sell sunglasses to a blind person, which now that I'm thinking, I'm like, all blind people wear sunglasses. So like, that would be an easy sell. But no, but like, I am very like, persuasive.
You're very persuasive.
I'm very persuasive.
That's why at home you get your way a lot. I
am very persuasive at home. I
You
can
are.
definitely get my way, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is crazy. I don't really ever get told no, very rarely. And I'm like, when it happens, I'm like, well, that's different, you know? I'm all...
Your whole life you've kind of been like that, though.
I know. It's weird.
It is weird.
I know.
I feel like Kennedy has a little of that, too.
I know.
Good luck to you.
Oh, no, her and Hudson were in a fight at cheer because Ken tries to drink all Hudson's water. And
Why?
Hudson's like, no, because she's like, you didn't bring your own. It's up to you, and you're not drinking mine. And then Hudson told her no, and Ken was trying to grab it, and Hudson goes, you don't take no for an answer, and that's why your mom's always pissed off at you. Hudson was right. And so I go, you're right, Hudson. I am.
Wait, at cheer she said that?
Yeah, isn't that so funny?
Yeah, that is pretty. Did it help?
I don't know. She doesn't take no, though.
No, she gets it from you.
I know.
And then it works on you.
I know.
That's the weirdest thing about me watching Kennedy with you. It's like
my own self.
Yes, and it's working
like
on you.
Karma.
No one's working on you.
Nothing.
And like she does it. And I'm like,
I know. Sometimes
she
I'm
plays
like,
you
no,
for a fiddle.
Do not get that. She is playing you. And then I still want to. It's weird.
It is weird. I've never seen someone do this to you more.
I know.
Like the boys can't win.
No.
You're like, nah. No. It's not happening.
No.
Kennedy, you're like, well, and I'm like, no.
I know.
She just got you.
I know.
But
I feel like Maddie does that to you too, though. Maybe it's because they're so similar to us.
Yeah, because Maddie is like me.
I've seen Maddie do it to you. Like, and she's like, well, Mom, this. And then you're like, yeah, you're right. And I'm thinking, what?
Yeah, it is like that. But the points are the things I care about, probably.
It's like they know how to work you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's weird.
It
is weird watching
what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Does anyone else do that to me? Like, do the other kids?
No. I feel like it's just Maddie, like, knows... Or it's like you're the same. So it's like the points that she makes. That's what Kennedy does. I don't think she's trying to manipulate as much as maybe Ken is. But like I think the points that she makes, you're like, yeah, you're right. And I'm all,
she's not right?
No.
Yeah, that must
be it. But it's weird because Ken does the same to me. And it's like,
that's so funny.
I fall right for it like an idiot.
I know. That's crazy.
I know.
Huh. Kids. Yeah, so anyway, so any other reflections? Let's think. That was it. Nothing that funny. The bear story was really a good time. My favorite episode was Trisha's for sure. Yeah. Trisha's. I got a few calls on that this weekend, and it's just amazing.
It was really good.
That was probably my favorite thing we've ever done. Yeah. And I want to do a little bit more of that in the next season. Yeah. There's a few people I want to tell stories, and I feel like hearing God work in these crazy, crazy times helps you remember, because even me, I feel like the world gets around us and you do question sometimes. Like, is this real, or is this God? Is this not God? Am I hearing it right?
And I love learning from new perspectives and people that aren't like us, because we're just the same. Like,
all the time.
Yeah. So it's fun to hear other people. And Trisha's story was like life-changing though.
Yeah. News facts. We did talk about the news a lot in the beginning. We tried that as a podcast, like seeing if we because I like talking about all that stuff.
Well, and we do talk about it in real life. So yeah, I feel like
But we evolved. I don't think that's as much us. I feel like we learned that too.
Yeah.
We just want to be just telling stories and best friends. And we think that's like the secret to our chemistry.
Totally.
Is that it's a little almost lesbian, but not, but like a weird friendship. I think it's intriguing that we can talk crap to each other and be this close.
Yeah, and people have come up to us and said like, oh my gosh, your friendship is so, because I feel like for us, it's just normal. But people have come up and been like, oh my gosh, your friendship is so cool and so special. And I wish I had a friend like that.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that so many people don't have that.
I know, it's crazy.
So if we can be that for them, I love that.
We're your new best friend.
Yeah, we're here. Call us.
But there was something. Oh, wait, what was I just going to say? Dang it, I'm really forgetting.
But it's fun too, because this is another thing is I feel like, I don't know if we're seeing more jerkies in real life or if there's more, but I feel like we're with more that listen. And it's so fun because I feel like it's this
sisterhood.
Yes.
It's like we get it.
It's like a secret society.
Yeah, it is like a secret society.
And they like send me Instagrams and like we see each other and like it's people I'm not normally close with. And I feel like we're close.
I feel like that too.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of people I feel like you know what I'm thinking right now.
Yes.
And you agree.
Yeah.
It's like its own secret, like you look at each other.
Yeah, and I'm like so myself, and for me that's hard. I'm not normally myself to people, but with the jerkies, they know me, and so it's this like understood sisterhood.
I agree.
I like love it.
I love it too, and I'll miss that over the summer.
And we talked about maybe having some live shows.
That's our big goal for next year.
Yes.
And this has been like a self-development time, and this year really helped us lean into the fact that we love doing the podcast. It's like a passion project for us.
And it was something God put on us for so years. Long, like since before COVID.
For years. And I wanted to be like a motivational speaker my whole life. I'm not saying this is that, but it scratches that itch for me.
And I want to be a comedian. So.
Yeah, so it's like something that I just feel like we're called to do this. And we have like our jerkies that we really love. And if it only gets that big, we're great with it.
Totally.
But we really feel like the live events would just be so fun because we'd get to talk to certain people that we don't get to see all the time.
We have together because it's like so cool.
And I feel like we're really funny in person. It's like our better, like sometimes all of this like does intimidate us a little bit. And we wonder, I think this season, like getting feedback and going viral for the first time taught us like, whoa, you do have to have a thick skin for this.
Yes.
Some more than others. The girl was getting like 12 syringes like everywhere down below too. No, but like they were calling us old. That's like your biggest nightmare.
Yeah.
And like stupid, irrelevant. It was hard to get through that, but then learning like what really values us, like what our values really are, why we're here. I feel like we really learned that.
We're passionate about like marriages and women supporting their husbands and loving their husbands.
And my good friend told me this last week.
Yes.
I feel like one of our passions for the podcast is giving Christian women permission to not be perfect. And I love the way she worded it.
Because I'm clearly not. So
Clearly, she's talking about the Lord's Prayer a few episodes ago and then saying shit in the same sentence. And not like we're promoting.
Right.
But I feel like in Christianity, something that's always like been hard for me is my parents never tried to be perfect, and I loved it. But as I dove into the church more and wanted to get more involved, I felt out of place because I wasn't perfect. Mm-hmm. And everyone lives and talks like everything's so great, and I just prayed for my husband, and we're just great, and everything's just great, and I can't be fake. Not that they're being fake, but we've caught sometimes that has happened. So I feel like Teisha and I's strength is that we are passionate Christians, but we're so okay with sharing that we don't have it figured out.
You
and
can
we do
have
it
a good
lot
marriage and still be annoyed with your husband sometimes. Or you can have a healthy sex life with your husband and still not be in the
Stabler.
mood. And still not be in the mood one day. And it doesn't means you're normal. It doesn't mean
wrong.
that you're
wrong.
That it's not right. You
Yeah,
know?
we feel like in a society where everyone's getting beat up because we compare so much on social media, we hope to be a light into the reality of things not being perfect.
Right.
Especially as women.
Yeah, and I feel
men.
like
Men love the podcast.
yeah, and a realistic expectation of like what marriage looks like. And I feel like we both have good marriages, so it's like I love to be able to share the things that work, the things that don't work, like, you know?
And even if you don't have a good marriage, and even if like we have a few like jerkies that have been divorced, and they love hearing the stories because they can reflect on where things went wrong, why they went wrong, or you know, you're right about all those things that maybe it wasn't perfect and this and that, but why I left was so much greater than the reasons we're saying.
Yeah,
you know what
we
I'm
don't
saying?
have those reasons.
Like, there's reasons to leave. We're not saying that's not true. I have friends that have been divorced, and they are better people because they're divorced. And they become, and it was God's plan in so many ways. Like, there's things that come from that. And so I feel like it's just relatable to the, what you are doing right and what you did right in the past. Like, it wasn't workable. It wasn't
Well, if I would have married any of the boyfriends.
Me too, it wouldn't have been right.
We wouldn't have lasted.
I know. I did talk a lot of crap about my ex-boyfriends. I do feel bad. They probably aren't around anymore because they've been mad. But
I do feel like I pissed less people off this season than last season.
Really?
I mean, not the strangers on TikTok, but
See, I got in a lot of trouble this season. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives really got me in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And they're coming out with a new season.
I think I'm going to watch it. No.
Did you see that Blake Lively's coming out with Simple Favor 2 after all those videos of her talking crap with Anna Kendrick?
I know. I
can't stand her now.
Did you see her stupid speech? I was like,
no, I didn't. But
so
I saw...
fake.
Yeah, Blake Lively was a big talk of the season.
Yeah.
That was a big one. We did get political in the beginning, and we decided, I don't really care to talk about that.
Yeah.
And then we also...
And I love a conspiracy, but if it comes up naturally, in real life, if you want to pull me aside, jerkies, we'll talk, you know? But I don't need to put it on here.
Yeah, because the hate mail got extreme.
Yeah, I'm not... People, literally, we got an email from someone, and he was like, your podcast is despicable. Like, you guys should die. It was like, I sent a screenshot to Crystal. I'm like, this is
Kyle, my
crazy.
husband, was fighting. He got TikTok, and he's fighting with people on TikTok who are making fun of us. So funny.
CJ went on there and was fighting with people, my oldest. It's cute.
But Paige DeSorbo and Craig, their breakup was legendary. That was like season 3. I can't get enough of the breakup. I'm obsessed with Paige DeSorbo.
Yeah.
Literally, that's my podcast idol.
Yeah.
Even though I talked crap. I said her and Craig were going to break up for years.
Yeah, yeah.
I said he wasn't right. That's my only thing.
I know. I wonder if we'll ever meet them.
I feel like we will.
Really?
But like, yeah, let's say it here now. I feel like God lays things on your heart for a reason. And I'm not giving up until we're on a stage. I picture it. Maybe like we've always talked about like being on certain things. Like it's going to happen. And I really want to write a book.
Yeah.
About all the weird things.
Yeah.
Anyone. I don't know which one. Not where they're going to make me be Illuminati or anything. You know? Because I would like to also sell out Radio City Music Hall, but I'm like, to get in there, you might have to do some
Yeah, I'm not interested in selling my soul.
Did you
Just
see
put
that
it on here
Epstein's
now.
accuser committed suicide?
Yeah.
As we're not talking about conspiracies.
I know, but come on. And like right before, she's all, I am very happy. I am not going to commit suicide. If something happens to me.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Are you saying
well,
that
did
here
you see
now?
a bus hit her right before?
Yeah, but it didn't work.
Yeah, and
I know.
then, yeah. It's so, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
See,
sad.
that's where the stage could be not so big because I do think, I don't like Hudson, my daughter's a redhead and tall and long, very different body than her mother. And people tell me all the time she should model, and I'm like, that world is something I don't want to dabble in.
No.
So like in order to
Agreed.
get big, if we have to go there, we just don't really care about getting bigger. That's another thing we learned this season, that we don't really care about being the biggest podcast.
No, God has a plan.
We just hope that our listeners, and we have like a good chunk that are loyal, that's all we care about is like relating with women. We don't really care to be naming lights. That was my whole thing with work too. I think I really learned that's not the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like we've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Tisha's learned to, I feel like you've opened up more this season. Last season, I mean, you did get weird about Justin Bieber after that whole scandal.
Yeah.
You did get like, our good friend said that Tisha's being edited. You could tell like you were, but I feel like you've opened up more about like telling Ben, shut the F up was one of my favorite things too. Because when I was listening to that story, I'm like, I feel that. Like sometimes one
of his friends texted him and was like, my wife told me about this. And he's like, and my husband was, because he doesn't listen. I don't listen. He doesn't listen. He was like, did you say that on the podcast? How you told me to shut the F up? And I was like, yeah.
He wasn't mad though?
He was like, why? And I was like, well, it's relatable.
Yeah.
And I was just saying I was annoyed with you. And like, he knows me enough and he's very secure. That's one thing I love about him. He's like very secure and he makes me more secure.
Because he is.
Yeah, he's like when I was stressed when everyone was saying he was going to leave me because I said I didn't want to sleep with him every minute. And I said sometimes I play dead. And I was like upset because I was getting so much hate on TikTok. And so I like played the clip for him and I'm like, this is so upsetting. And he was like, who cares? You know we have a good marriage. Who cares what anyone thinks? So like his support is like, he is the most supportive husband. I will say that about him.
Oh, he really is.
I've never met a more supportive person of anything I do. I'm like, so I'm going to go and, do the weirdest thing. And he's like, great. Yeah, you're amazing. He's so supportive.
Again, though, having one person believe in you can change everything.
He believes in me 100%. And he's so supportive. So he is very okay with me sharing things. Like, I think as long as I don't like say something too, which I'm like.
Does he know about the Chick-fil-A when you said?
I don't know. How much more can I say? It's like, I don't think I can say anything more.
I know. Kyle really is an avid listener. So I just get in trouble when I think I talk about, he's like, I got ripped today.
Yeah.
But
Kyle likes things more private though. I feel like.
No.
No, he's like me. He says things.
He says it all. Like, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah. I feel like if Ben listened, he might
He had some
like
beverages this weekend. He's so funny when he drinks. And Maddie's friend was over and he went in there and he laid on the bed with them. And he was like, yeah, and he's like, your mom, when she met me at the club, she just kept on trying to ride my leg.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, my daughter, I'm like, shut up. She didn't need to hear this.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's a good time.
He was calling Ben, come to the casino. So
he was
funny.
telling me to go to the casino. And I was like, no, we should go though. Oh, we've got things to do
I know.
today. Yeah,
So
that's the thing. I'm going to work on being a less gambler, but let's go.
Yeah.
Tisha became a gambler this season.
And then I am not anymore.
But we really thank you guys for listening. Thank Melissa, who's with us. We'll share a picture with her as well.
Yeah.
She's been super positive for us. She's a really strong woman that we admire really a lot. She does big things in her life. So Melissa, we thank you so much for everything.
Yes.
Tyler, who is our producer.
Pod Daddy.
This is his studio. He was really, really helpful. He believed in us from the get-go. He's really helped us lean into who we are. I think that really helped us be more ourselves. His studio is amazing. His staff's amazing. They deal with our crazy. We've gotten crazy many times.
Yeah.
He's so supportive of us. Dana, who got us started, we love her. We're so thankful for her. She's still always supporting us on the side, does stuff for our business. We love her.
We're
and
obsessed with Dana.
All of you guys who meet us in person or message us, like share the podcast. It really helps us keep going. Tisha's still here and we're coming back season 4.
No, like they don't understand. We send each other screenshots of it and like, it's so nice. All the messages. Like,
because you feel stupid. Like we feel stupid at times. Like, what are we doing?
And
no
then,
one
like,
cares what we have to say.
No, it's like, I want to quit every day. And then like the messages or even just like any little encouraging thing is so nice. It goes so far.
But lean in this summer, go on a trip. If I could tell people, like, I just think the trips with your family.
Card. No, I'm just kidding.
We just talked to someone this morning. They said, Kyle and I were talking about it this morning. And, I am big Dave Ramsey, big debt free. I lean into that. But we have a family that's putting some things on the credit card to go on a trip. And it's like, Kyle's like, but sometimes you just have to. And like to save your marriage or to save your life or to save your livelihood, it's so important that in this life that we work so hard at, we're getting beaten up every day. It's so important that you go and enjoy whatever it is. Go on a hike, like go stay, camping. Just go do something you enjoy, even if it doesn't make sense. If you don't have the money, you don't have the time off, find a way to make that happen. I so believe that's the secret to like sanity. Even Melissa does hot yoga every morning. I just think sometimes we don't make those things enough of a priority.
Well, the day-to-day gets so mundane. It's so important, especially with your, like, life can change at any moment. So with your kids and your husband, you never know.
Take the trip.
Even
going to Guatemala last year was one of my favorite things I've ever done. Just take the trip. Whatever it is, do it. Do the thing that scares you. And we're going to try to do that. We're going to have lives next year. That's our biggest thing. Season 4 is going to be better than ever. We're going to pray on it. We're going to grow on our break. That helps us like evolve and listen to what God's calling is for us. But we'll be back in August, and we can't wait to tell you about what happens from here to then.
Thanks for listening.
Welcome to Jerkin Around, a podcast that makes you feel better about yourself because we're a mess, just like you.
And Crystal makes fun of me the whole time.
And it's great, and it's real.